Hello, it's Sonia here with The Pretty Stitch. Welcome to my channel. If this is your first time joining me, I'm so happy to have you here. So today we're going to be making another ear warmer and we're going to be knitting again. So you can see I've got my knitting needles here. These are number 11 and I am using 3 strands of yarn to do this project because this calls for chunkier yarn like a number 6. I actually had chunky yarn all set aside to do this, cannot find it anywhere. Don't know what happened to it. I cleaned up and you know, you shouldn't be doing that because when you clean up, put stuff away and then you can't remember. So what we're improvising. So we're using 3 strands of worsted weight number 4 and they're not all the same color because I couldn't find 3 of the same that would be enough. So we're improvising. So I know this one is Hobby Lobby. I love this yarn number 4. The other 2, they're slightly different in shade. They look pretty similar, but I have no idea what the brand is. I believe the yarn is from a donation. I run a knit crochet group and I get lots of yarn donated to me to make, to use for our group. And so when I get donated yarn, I like to use it to benefit the community. So this will be going for donation, this ear warmer, probably to a local homeless shelter. And we also we'll need a cable needle, or you can use a double point needle, or if you don't have that and you do have a regular straight crochet hook, that works as well. I've used this in a pinch because we're going to be cabling. So why don't we get started for this project here? So I've already cast on, I cast on 16 stitches. So you're going to want to cast on 16 however you want to cast on. And we're going to begin row 1. So this is going to be a 6-row repeat. So you're going to be repeating these 6 rows for however long you need your ear warmer. And I just want to apologize. I feel like when I work on my desk, it's so noisy. Clankety clank. I try to keep it as quiet as I can, but you know, that's what happens when you're knitting on camera. And I try to mute when I can too. So we are going to knit 4 stitches to start off with. Okay, so then our next stitch, stitch 5, we're going to purl. And then our next 6 stitches, we are going to knit. And our next stitch, so we have 5 left, we are going to purl. And then our last 4 stitches we will knit. Alright, so there we go. There is row 1. So we have 14 knit stitches and 2 purl stitches for row 1. Alright, so row 2, and this is an even row, and all of the even rows will be the same for this project. So for row 2, you will purl 4, so basically you're going to purl in all of the purl stitches and knit in all of the knit stitches for your even row. So that is purl 4, knit 1, purl 6, knit 1, purl 4. And there we go, we have row 2 complete. So let's get ready for row 3. Row 3, we are going to start our cabling. So that's the fun part, I think. All right, so to begin row 3, you're going to knit 4. So now we're going to do our purl stitch. So we've worked our purl stitch, so now we're going to knit 2. And now we're going to grab our cable needle and we're going to slide 2 stitches off onto our cable needle. And I know this cable needle or double point needle is a lot smaller than my size 11s here. I'm not even sure, this might be a size 5. I'm not 100% on that, but it's fine. I do it all the time. I don't have a problem with it. All right, you just want to make sure they don't slide off. All right, so we're going to have those in the back. So I call it cable knit back. So slide 2, cable knit back. And now we're going to knit 2. I don't consider myself a super skilled knitter, but I can knit okay. I'm an average at best knitter. I am always working on improving my knitting skills, so maybe I will someday consider myself more advanced. All right, so we knit 2. Now we're going to knit 2 off of our cable needle. Set that guy aside, and now we're going to purl. And we're going to knit the last 4 stitches. And then row 4 is going to be an even row where we purl 4, knit 1, purl 6, knit 1, purl 4. So I'm going to go do that off camera so you don't have to hear this clankety clank. And I will meet you back and we'll get ready for row 5. Okay, so here's how we're looking. We are ready for row 5. Not looking very exciting yet. Okay, so we're going to do a whole lot of cabling for row 5. So we're going to grab our cable needle right away and we're going to slide 2 stitches off. I'm using my crochet hook. It's the same color almost as the double point. All right, actually let me show you with the crochet hook so you can see how it does work. So how I like to do it if I'm using a crochet hook is I like to use the hook part first. I'm going to slide 2 stitches off and we're going to do cable knit back. So they're going to go hang out in the back. I'm going to knit 2. So as you can tell, I'm more of a use what you have kind of gal. I didn't go out and buy more chunky yarn. I'm not rushing to get cable needles. I, try to make do with the tools that I have because I'm a thrifty kind of gal. All right, so now we're going to knit these 2 off of the crochet hook here, or our improvised cable needle. So you can see it just slides right off. There we go. All right, so now we're going to purl. And now we're going to do more cabling. So I'm going to grab back to the double point here. I'm going to slide 2 stitches off. And now we're going to do cable knit front. So that means that we're just having that hang out in the front. And we're going to knit 2 stitches. And now we need to knit the stitches off of our cable needle. Okay, so now we're going to knit 2 stitches. And we're going to work our purl stitch. So now we're going to grab our cable needle again, and we're going to pull 2 stitches off, and we're going to cable knit front again. So these guys are going to hang out in the front. And we're going to knit 2 stitches. And now we knit the last 2 stitches off of our cable needle. And there is row 5. Doesn't look like a whole lot yet. That's the thing with cabling. You do have to get quite a few rows in, like a few repeats, probably by the 3rd repeat of working rows 1 through 6. Then all of a sudden you're like, oh, that's what it's supposed to look like. So often with cabling, either in crochet or knitting, it kind of looks like a hot mess. But then that's the magic of it. After you get a couple rows in, then you're like, oh, it actually is a thing. So for row 6, you're just going to repeat that even row where you purl 4, knit 1, purl 6, knit 1, purl 4. And then what you'll do is repeat rows 1 through 6 for however long you need your ear warmer, and then you're going to cut your yarn, and you want to leave a tail for sewing because you're going to sew the ends together to form the ear warmer. And I kind of like my ear warmers to fit snugly on my head. I don't want them like sliding all over the place, but I don't want them super tight where it's cutting off the circulation. So you'll just kind of need to you know, decide what you like as far as how you like your fit. So I'm going to go repeat rows 1 through 6, and I will meet you back. Okay, so here is my ear warmer. I stitched it until it was long enough and then just sewed across. I still need to weave in some ends, just clean it up, as the end is a little bit wider down here because we don't, with cabling, it, you know, we started off with the 16 stitches, and cabling makes it a little bit smaller, so that beginning row. So I just need to, when I weave in the end, I'll just tuck that in and it'll be fine. But I actually think it looks really nice with the 3 colors together. I really like it. Nice neutral colors, and you can really see how the cabling pops out as you work the rows. So we've got the braid in the center and the twists on the end. And it's also very, very nice and warm. And you will see in the pictures that there is another one that I made, and that was using a chunky number 6 yarn. It might have been a Hobby Lobby, I don't know. It was a donation given to me through my knit crochet group, so I'm not exactly sure what yarn that was because the label was gone. But that ear warmer is already off to a special donation to North Carolina, so hopefully the items were just sent and they were received, and they're being distributed through a church that somebody in my knit crochet group who went to North Carolina is working with. So I've heard of some stories where things have been shipped down there and then they never got to the people that actually need them, which this is not the case. So we are working with reputable people to make sure that the items go to people that actually need them. So hopefully somebody will enjoy that ear warmer. But I hope you enjoyed this project, and if you did, please like and subscribe, and thank you so much for watching.